Right, so let's bring Major Tom from the Salvation Army up onto the show. Good morning, Major Tom,
Good morning. Half a day.
from the Salvation Army. So we just had a call in. A guy was saying, "What can he do to help the homeless?" And I know that's a big part of what you guys do. So what can we do to help the homeless, Major Tom?
Well, that's a good question. Right now, we are still open. As you know, we're part of the essential services that are open. The Lighthouse is open with the Souls in the Building. Our Family Service Center is still open with food requests. So what we're doing right now is also we're dealing with people who have lost work due to the hotels and different things that people are struggling with. So right now, we are seeing an increase of food requests from everyday people who just need some help with food. So we're trying to keep that up. Right now, we're seeing about 14 to 20 people come in a day right now that come in for food, which is a huge spike for us. So we're trying to help those that are normally working right now, but unfortunately are not. So we're making sure that's a priority for us also. The homeless are a priority for us, but we're making sure that the everyday people are being taken care of also. But our supplies are somewhat limited because we're buying from the same vendors that everyone else is shopping at. So we're doing the best we can to keep our food bank stocked and prepared food bags, and we put in some safety measures so that we're keeping social distancing, in effect for our staff as well as the clients coming to us, for food in Tejan. As far as homeless, we're trying to do the best we can to do the outreaches that we know where the homeless might be living.
Right. So, Major Tom, so in doing those outreaches, are you seeing the homeless? Are they still in their regular places that they go to, or have they been gathered up?
In some locations, yes, they're there. In other places, we haven't seen them. So I don't know if they're held up or if they went into other shelters that might still be open.
Right, or maybe found those long-lost relatives.
Yeah. We're seeing some people, but a lot of people, again, some of our homeless people, they're living in their vehicles. So sometimes they're able to move around. So some of the hot spots that we know that some of the homeless might be living have gone to see or check some of those locations to see what we can bring, to see what they need. But again, we're trying to keep up with both part with the homeless and, of course, our non-working folks right now.
Major Tom, if I'm waking up this morning, no food, kids are hungry, I'm going to try and go to, get a grab-and-go meal. If I want to come to Salvation Army, what services or what kind of assistance is available?
Right now, we're making appointments for our food bank. So if you're calling in and you need a food assistance, our number is 477-9855. That's 477-9855 to make an appointment. And once that appointment is made, our person will take some information from you so we could verify the need and then make a time for you to come to Tejan. And then they can, once they fill out the work, the bag will be there and they could take it. And like I said, there's minimal interaction. It's not to be impersonal. It's just to keep everybody safe. But then for the homeless outreach, we're still going to continue to fill up our vans and kind of drive around and see what we can find in terms of homeless people that we may know of to see what needs they have. So we're doing our best to keep up with everybody at this point in time. Of course, our thrift store and all the other things are closed because of that, being a store. So, but our essential services are open, and we're trying to do the best we can with keeping up with the food demands.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what we're really focusing on right now.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of calls of people asking about emergency food stamps. I mean, it's hard to get anyone from public health nowadays. So that's what people are wondering about. They're wondering about, how am I going to pay the rent? Am I going to get evicted? Running out of food. They just extended this another 2 weeks. I got to go buy more food. Cash a little short. Major Tom, just for those people listening or those in need, what is the turnaround from when I call Salvation Army to when I actually get a box of, what is it, like a box of canned goods I'm going to walk away with? Or
Yeah, it's basically canned goods, something you can go home and make a meal with. I mean, it's not going to it's going to be a couple days worth of food and that kind of thing, just to get you by. But I would think as soon as you make the phone call to that number 477-9855, that you could call as soon as you're interviewed over the phone and set up a time. It's a pretty fast turnaround. We're not trying to hold anyone back, because
Right.
we know that right now it's a situation. But the other thing I would think, the only thing I would say is that for those that can donate monetarily or even bring canned food, we could sure use it, because we're going through it pretty fast. We've been buying from Costulas and other vendors to, buy, water and different things for people. So we're going through it as soon as we could buy it, put it on the shelves. So we're trying to keep up with the demand as much as we can.
How many calls are you guys taking, and how many people are coming in to pick up food?
Well, this week we saw a bigger spike in increase in requests. That we figured
14 to
last
20.
week it wasn't so bad, but this week we've seen, like I said, 14 to 20
to 20,
people coming in for food, and then the phone is just ringing off the hook. So we're trying to do the best we can to keep up with it.
Wow. And so again, just with people who want to donate food, where do they go? To your offices in Teton?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's where the best place to go right now, because that's where the food bank is, and it helps us that way. We can, if they're going to bring a donation, they can also call that same number, 477-9855, and that way we'll know that somebody's coming to drop off food that we can take it and bring in.
Can
You
they
know,
make
Major
an
Tom, it would-
electronic transfer of money?
Say again?
Can they make an electronic transfer of money? You said that people can make monetary donations.
We can. There might be. So yeah, I would say to call in that number, that same number, and then we could try to work with taking a.
You got to get a PayPal, Major Tom.
Yeah, we'll have to work on that.
Okay.
Is there a way, if people want to donate, because I know you guys are getting people in there wanting food, but we've got to, maintain these social isolation and the social distancing. Is there a way, if people want to donate, maybe they just pull up and drop the bag on the, I mean, it sounds weird.
Drop and go?
Drop and go, maybe.
Yeah, well, for sure. That we could do that also. That we'll know that that's a donation. It's just
Right.
this way we don't have someone pull up and say, "Oh, there's my food," and
Right, yeah.
someone walks away with it. But yeah, anything will work right now. We're not. We're just trying to be. We're trying to be assisting. We're not trying to add more stress to somebody who's trying
Right.
to help out.
Man, Major Tom, hit my heart. I mean, this is just, I can't thank you guys and what you're doing. I can't thank you enough. It's crazy. And these are people that I feel like, our elected leaders have forgotten about.
Yeah, and like I said, we're really focusing on prioritizing a lot of the families that have lost income due to this the COVID-19, and so we're really making sure that families that are coming in that normally would be working right now, like I said, or walk away with something. I mean, we're trying to do the best we can. So
Right.
we're not going to turn anyone away. We're going to do the very best we can for them.
And you know what?
Yeah.
In talking to these people who have, what are you hearing? Are we seeing hours cut, or people just like out of jobs, or do we have temporary layoffs? I've heard of combinations of all three.
Yeah, basically that's it. I mean, we got people who would in the hospitality industry, the kitchens, the various industries that we see, like Tumon would be bustling right now. So a lot of them they've got cut hours, and so it's not necessarily the standard. People who are going. These guys are living paycheck to paycheck basically, and so and when both couples lose their income, and then their kids are at home. So you have more mouths to feed, and so it just becomes more of a problem to keep everybody fed. But like I said, I do see that people are trying to keep their hopes up. I do think that that they're trying to get past this. But the Salvation Army is going to be here, and through like every other disaster that we've been here, and so we're going to work through this the best we can. And we just on top of giving out food, we are praying for the island. We're praying for you guys who are getting information out, and even for our leaders, as the Bible tells us to pray for our leaders, because they're just trying to figure all this out as well. So while there's a lot of questions, we also go to a higher power and ask him to help us do this.
Sergeant Tom, I wanted to ask about
Major Tom.
Major. Sorry, I gave you a demotion. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I wanted to ask about the status of the Lighthouse Recovery Center.
Yeah, so the Lighthouse with Ms. Val and all our great people over there at the LRC, it's still open because we have men in the program there. We're right now not doing any new intakes at the moment, but we do have people in the program that are basically locked down, but they're still provided services through, the counselors and all that are doing still doing programs and all the things that happen at the LRC. Some of our counselors are also doing the telemed conferencing with some of their outpatient services. So there are still services happening through the LRC. It's just we, like everybody else, are trying to learn this new curve of how we're going to provide services during this time.
Can you tell us about the Family Services Center, Major Tom?
Yeah, the Family Services Center is our FSE program, and that's a housing program. It's our HPRP, which is Rapid Rehousing and Permanent Housing Program, and that we have the EST grant that comes from HUD through GURA, and so basically families. That's a little bit of a longer process, but they can still call in if people are needing challenge. Homeless prevention is just that, is where people maybe, like I said, they're waiting on their paycheck and they're lost hours, and so they don't want to become homeless. So that program could be, if they're available, if they fit the criteria, could be a candidate for that program.
And that's 477-3529.
3529, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Are you seeing a lot of inquiries about this program?
We're seeing not at this time, but as our staff, we told our staff that it's gonna probably pick up here as the 30th approaches and rent starts being due. We're probably gonna see some of those requests come in.
So you're saying people can't hang on, is what you're saying, Major Tom?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we're, like I said, we have that program there for them, and these programs there for the community. So it's this isn't a normal situation. So right now, everybody is in need. We're all kind of figuring this out, and while we're keeping each other safe, and that's the same thing with our staff. So if you call in and we set an over the phone interview and won't see you face to face, don't take it personally. It's not that we don't care about you. It's just we're trying to keep everybody safe.
Right.
And that kind of thing. So we're trying to, like I said, we're trying to provide the services, but do this on a learning curve for us. So.
Well, I just appreciate that you guys aren't passing the buck off to, the federal government or anything. Major Tom, is there any way to get cash assistance? I know that CSS, maybe even sometimes Red Cross does for those who are in a situation where they need cash. I mean, I'd send a text to Catholic Social Services. Are you aware of any programs that offer, cash assistance?
We do not. We don't have that ability or
Right.
that funding stream to offer cash assistance. I mean, that would be nice. Probably more effective, if anything, for people just to get the money they need to help them. But we usually work through a vendor. Like we would work with their landlord. We would work with, that kind of thing to make sure their rent is paid and that kind of thing. But at this point, we don't do cash assistance.
Okay. Just checking, Major Tom. So thank you again, and hopefully we're going to send some donations your way today.
All right, that's good. And we may be also working with some first responders here soon, with some of our nurses that are working tirelessly to make sure they're hydrated and got food and that kind of thing. So we're trying to look at every angle possible to serve the island.
Thank you so much, Major
Thanks.
Tom. And you got my number. You shoot me a text or WhatsApp at pics or anything. If you guys are out there doing stuff, let us know so that we can share with the people of Guam the great things you guys are doing to assist those most in need.
Will do.
Thank you,
Thank
Major
you.
Tom.
All right, God bless. Bye.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go. Salvation Army, Major Tom. Again, the donations. I kind of think it would be good just go by and, don't just throw it out of the window. But, they have an area there where you can kind of pull in. And TJ and the